3 harpies, their stench as foul as their temperament, circle endlessly in the skies above. Book 3, Forges and Fire. It appears that little time was spent in crafting this small table and accompanying chairs. Argonus holds out his hand and calls upon the power of the daimon. The statue quickly falters before collapsing completely. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the diamond's gift destroys the stone statue. Argonus calls upon the power of the diamond, turning the stone statue into nothing more than dust. Argonus holds out his hand and calls upon the power of the daimon. The statue quickly falters before collapsing completely. This appears to be a note written on fine parchment. The note reads, "Celeus, the beast upon the hill must once again be appeased. Its appetite for riches is becoming insatiable." It is signed, Tallius. This silver drachma is oddly struck, bearing the image of a grinning skull. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. Argonus watches in awe as he simultaneously destroys the stone body and frees the soul trapped within. Without a sturdy hammer and tongs such as these, how would a smith bend iron and bronze to his will? This wooden chest is adorned with silver embellishments and a simple keyhole. Argonus sets the key into the keyhole before pulling open the lid, revealing its contents. The shape and color of this keystone is familiar, mirroring the one pulled from wet sand. These bellows are
Come, Pellis, sit by the fire. Do not tarry in darkness, as it is only shadows you chase.
Mayhap so, Nauplius. But is it not what is cloaked in shadows we seek? That which has brought all we know to ruin?
That I cannot say. But ponder this. If fair Athena appeared before us, bestowing hope, would she not also offer protection?
I know not. All that is certain is that a fear grips my heart like no other. Athena's promises do little to
Hold! What manner of creature are...
While this remnant has succumbed to wind and rain, it is unclear where the remainder of this massive statue resides. This stone visage is of Pellis, warder of Thespia. who surpassed all men in naval skill, be it on high seas or curving shores. Argonus releases the diamond's power, freeing the soul of his friend from his prison of stone. Well skilled to attack a charging foe, Nauplius now stands frozen in time, never again to bear long arrows. Bits of stone, once flesh, rain down on the sod as Argonus bids the soul of his comrade farewell and Godspeed. This woman, no doubt a worshipper by her garment, shall forever pluck at wild flowers. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. This appears to be nothing more than a simple basket, perhaps used in a religious ceremony. Argonus adds the golden apples he is carrying to the basket. Golden apples such as these could seduce both man and creature alike. Young Cepheus, aboard the Argo not but a fortnight, has succumbed to the very thing that has cursed this isle. The statue is no match for the power of the diamond. The stone shatters, releasing the soul of the Argonaut within. While the stone facade is unfamiliar, the strangely shaped hole is not. With a satisfying click, the keystone sets perfectly into the stone indentation. A notch in the doorframe can be seen behind this large stone statue, but cannot be reached without first moving the impediment. Argonus puts his weight against the stone, but is unable to move the statue even a hand's breadth. Without warning, the cyclops appears, his single eye moving back and forth between Argonus and the broken statuary. The docile creature wraps its massive fingers around the stone fragment and, with a grunt, moves in the cyclops bellows at the sky before fixing its gaze on the historian. Argonus nods with understanding as the creature wanders away. The sailor's merciful boon has been paid back in full. Set within the rock, the carved hole appears to be wanting a key of sorts. With a satisfying click, the keystone sets perfectly into the stone indentation. The final keystone placed, a deep grinding fills the air, and heavy stone doors slowly open, revealing a dark passageway beyond. The surface of the stone shows circular impressions, but they are difficult to discern in this dim light. The harpies circle high above the sailor, confirming his suspicions. Argonus carries something that the dogs of Zeus desire. During his adventures, Argonus has beheld many a fabled beast. None, however, compare to the majesty of this creature. Both lion and eagle melded into one. Gold can be seen scattered throughout this massive nest. The remains of baskets are strewn upon the rocks. Perhaps these once contained offerings meant to satiate the beast. The gaze from the Gryphon brings the sailor pause. Argonus slowly retreats, leaving the golden treasure be. Argonus approaches the Gryphon cautiously, glancing anxiously toward the skies before setting the gold-laden basket upon the sod. The beast immediately takes notice, as the treasure is simply too great to resist. After a moment, it leaves its hoard unguarded. All at once, the air is replete with the rush of wings and unearthly screams. The dogs of Zeus descend as one, intent on claiming the savory prize as their own. Although fear grips his breast, Argonus makes haste, quickly seizing several of the golden pieces before the unearthly combatants take notice. These vases may have been used to carry water, or oil for waiting braziers. It is unclear from where the Gryphon stole this armor. Regardless, gold is not an ideal metal to be used in battle. The visage of Hephaestus, god of the forge, has been painstakingly carved into marbled stone. His mighty hammer looks powerful enough to destroy or break open almost anything. These silver adornments have been left as an offering to the god Hephaestus. Marbled stone shifts as the spirit of Hephaestus enters the ornate statue shaped long ago by human hands. The god of the forge regards Argonus with unblinking eyes.
Who is this man before me? Surely not one who strikes the iron, nor one who stokes the fire. Nay.
The god continues, his brow furrowed.
They are no more, having fallen to that which fair Athena hath unleashed. Do not be deceived, sailor of the Argo. While it was Perseus's hand that sundered head from shoulders, the heart that drove the blade was assuredly that of the goddess.
Hephaestus pauses, deep in thought. When he speaks again, it is slow and measured.
I am loath to meddle in my sister's quarrels, either to directly help your quest to find your countrymen, or abate the scourge being wrought by the Gorgon's sisters. And yet, if you return the gold stolen from my temple, and tend my forge, I will grant you a light to drive away darkness.
The benevolent god nods before the statue becomes still once again. Like a hunter returning with prized spoils, Argonus holds the golden artifacts high, and the statue of Hephaestus stirs.
Well done, Argonus.
The god of smiths says, nodding.
While I will not interfere with that which has been set into motion, mighty Hephaestus can instruct. Can he not?
The god motions to the forge.
4 things are paramount, Argonaut. Coal for the fire, air to stoke, metal to shape, and a tool to shape it.
He then points to Argonus.
Sailor, historian, mapmaker, and soon metallurgist. Surely your father Argus would approve.
And with that, Hephaestus looks away and moves no more. Argonus sets the petrified heart of the hydra before Hephaestus, prompting the statue to life once more, without questioning the intent of the sailor, nor asking for a boon in return. The god's mighty hammer crashes down, freeing the creature's organ from its stone prison. Freed from its stone prison, the still beating heart of the Methosian hydra radiates a fell heat. Certainly the heart of the Methosian hydra should not reside in the satchel of a sailor, but rather in something more preternatural. Argonus sets the bellows onto the stone and slides it into the hole. This stone forge is bereft of coal and, for the moment, useless. Argonus adds the coal to the forge. Argonus sets the wool into the forge. It takes only a single strike of steel on flint to produce a fine plane. Argonus squeezes the bellows repeatedly, fanning the flames of the forge until the coals blaze with an intense heat. The Gryphon's gold is set carefully within the forge. It doesn't take long for the soft metal to begin to glow. As if possessed by the spirit of Hephaestus himself, Argonus brings the hammer down on the gold again and again, reshaping once beautiful armor into a mass of precious metal. Divine power continues to drive his strokes, as unrecognizable form takes shape and after time becomes something far more than the sailor thought he could construct. A light to drive away darkness. This golden torch may have been formed by man, but 'twas the god of forges that guided the hammer. This golden torch may have been formed by man, but 'twas the god of forges that guided the hammer.
No one would fault the sailor if I were to recount, at great length and with great detail, the clash of the magnificent winged creatures I have just borne witness. For surely, even a novice storyteller could lift and embellish the battle for Hephaestus's gold with great plum and ardor. Nor shall I speak at great length about the god of the forge himself, although I would be remiss if I did not mention the great gift granted this sailor, a golden torch of unquenchable fire. I shall instead speak plainly on the thing that begs to be brought from shadow into light, the very nature of the gods themselves. I possess neither need nor desire to debate their existence, for I have received both mercy from their hands and been found wanting in their sight. No, it is not their divinity I question. It is their motives. Why would those who rule on high choose to inhabit stone visages on an uncharted isle? Why intercede with a simple sailor, graciously offering burden and blessing in equal portion? While these queries shall assail sleepless nights long after I depart these shores, one chilling question cannot be ignored. What unseen power do these Gorgons possess that even the gods would fear?